Shalom Nikulam, Shalom, hope you're all doing well. I hope your week was great. And just sending Shabbat Shalom from the land of Israel. A quick thought in this week's Torah portion, Parshat Tavo. And I'm just thinking, Shabbat in general, Shabbat is such a time to enter a different kind of reality, a different perspective on life. During the week we're so engaged and engrossed in what we're involved with, whether it's work, school, making money, making ends meet, paying the bills, homework, schoolwork, whatever it is, wherever we are at different points in our lives. And it can become so easy, and usually is so easy, to just be so involved in those things and forget about the big picture, forget about why we're really here and what's really going on behind the scenes. And Shabbat gives us that incredible gift of seeing life from a different angle, from a different perspective. And we remember that while those things are super important, they're totally part of who we are and what the world is about and what we need to do in the world, there's usually so many other things that we forget about them and then we don't think about during the week. And Shabbat reminds us of those other things. It gives us a time to think about those higher spiritual pursuits that we talk about so much in these weekly videos. And I was just thinking that this Shabbat is the second to last Shabbat of the year. Right? We're coming to Rosh Hashanah so soon, and there's only 2 Shabbats left of this year to Tafshin Ayin Dalet before we come into the new year. And we learn an amazing thing from our sages that if all of Israel were to keep 2 consecutive Shabbats, so the Geulah would come, the redemption would come, the Messiah would come. And I was just thinking there's many ways that we can understand that, but I was thinking that if we all could connect to Shabbat in the way that it wants to be connected to, and in terms of seeing the world and ourselves in this different kind of light, that would be the Geulah, that would be the redemption in and of itself, because we would understand so much deeper, fundamentally, why we're here and why the world is here at all in the first place. So we should be blessed with these 2 last Shabbats of the year to really use them wisely and well, and really take advantage, so to speak, of what it really wants to give us. Right? Different kinds of eyes, as Rabbi Shlomo Karlach would always say, the eyes of Shabbat eyes, and bring that into the week, and the next 2 weeks specifically, the last 2 weeks of the year, and really prepare for this incredible transition that's upon us so soon. Quick word about the Parsha itself, Tavo. We learn, among other things, the mitzvah of Bikurim, right? That when we come into the land and we settle the land, and we learn, I'm not sure where we left off, but I'll just say that again in terms of the mitzvah of Bikurim, when we learn that when we come into the land and settle the land and plant our farms and plant our vineyards and our orchards specifically, that when it's time to harvest them, that already before that point we designate the first fruits that we see coming off of our trees specifically from the 7 species that are native to the land of Israel. And those are the fruits that we're actually going to bring to the temple. At first the Mishkan, and later on the temple in Jerusalem, as a gift to Hashem to say thank you so much. It's a very interesting mitzvah, many different pieces and parts. But one part is it's shared in the Torah itself, in this week's Torah portion, that we give like this whole speech. When a Jew would go to the temple in Jerusalem and bring these first fruits, this Bikurim, he would say this whole speech about like kind of Jewish history, like a few sentences of, starting with Avram and what Avram went through, and then our whole journey to Egypt and what happened there, and we were enslaved, and we cried out, and we were saved, and this whole story. And we don't see this with any other mitzvah in the Torah, that we give this whole kind of past history of the Jewish people that led up to this moment that we're standing in front of God in Jerusalem giving over this gift of the first fruits. It's a very interesting and unique thing. And just one quick thought about that. I was thinking that, every mitzvah comes to teach us something different, something unique. All 613 mitzvot are inherently worthwhile in and of themselves, but they have a teaching also embedded in it. And something I think that we can extract from Bikurim is this idea that behind every single moment there's an entire history. Behind every single moment there's an entire past, an entire story that has unfolded that led to that specific moment. Right? And the moment that we're in is going to become part of a past, become part of a history and a story that will lead up to future events. And we should always see ourselves as part of this whole chain of history, as well as history in the making. Right? That we've inherited, that what we are doing and who we are, and the moment that we're engaged in is the accumulation, is the peak of many events, years, hundreds of years, thousands of years of events that have led up to that specific moment. And we again are the past of the future events of this world. And at every single moment we could decide what kind of chain we want to be in the future that comes after us. Do we want to be a chain link that's going to bring the world into a better place, or God forbid hold it back? Right? If we can always kind of hold that space, hold that awareness and that perspective of that we're both receivers of history and also makers of history. It's a very, very powerful lesson, right? That we had this incredible story that we are inheriting in every single moment, whether or not we're aware of it. It's better to be aware of it so we can value the preciousness of it, and then be inspired to create, again, the story that will be the future. So I just want to bless you, want to bless me from the land of Israel, second to last Shabbat of the world, of Rosh Hashanah, right? Maybe, of this world, right? Every single year is a different world. The next year that's upon us so soon is a whole different world we can't even imagine it yet. So on some level, that's an accurate statement to say this is the second last Shabbat of the world, because every year is a world unto itself. But really, we should be blessed with this Shabbat to have these eyes of where we're standing in every single moment, right? Balancing between the past and the future. Shabbat Shalom from the land of Israel. Much love and blessing. Shabbat Shalom.